Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ferrara Calling. I'm Eleonora. I am an innovation officer here at the Laboratorio Aperto, which is the beating heart of this project, and I will be your host for today's session. It's wonderful to see people joining from Ferrara, from across Italy, and from Europe, and from all over the world. Thank you for being here with us. Today, our purpose is not just to talk about the city. We are talking about a place where a lot of things happen. Ferrara Calling is a series of webinars that we launched in May. So this is the third session that we are having. Today is the last appointment of this session. We had one on Monday about sport in Ferrara, one yesterday about culture and cultural events, and today we will be talking about sustainability in the city. This webinar series is part of a wider program, which is supported by the Emilia-Romagna region, following the regional law for talent attraction, which is a specific initiative designed to make this region, and especially this city, a home for creativity, innovation, opportunity, and of course, all of this could not be possible with the support of the municipality of Ferrara. Throughout this series, we want to show you that you don't need to move to a big metropolis to make an impact, because here in Ferrara, talents can find their space, their ideas can take root, and the collaboration can grow in very healthy, if you can accept the use of this term, ways, naturally, sustainably, and with a strong sense of community. So this is why when we have this series, all the speakers that we have are very well attuned, and I'm very also honored to call them friends, because we are all part of this project in the same way, and we all have the same target. So it's good to have the same common ground where to start from, and to promote our beautiful city, but also to tell us about our personal experiences and to create a sense of community. So I'll try to share a little video with you, so we can so you can see Ferrara in a better way. Just bear with me a second. And here we go. So Ferrara, of course, is often described as a Renaissance city, and truly is a Renaissance city. If you cycle or walk through the cobbled street and the wonderful square, you can feel like you are actually in a painting, because there is a harmony, there is balance, and everything is timeless. The city center has been listed in the UNESCO site list for a long time. I think that this year, 2025, is the 30th anniversary that Ferrara is part of this list, and we are honored also because the entire city center is listed on the UNESCO list, and not just one or two monuments. But Ferrara is also much more than its past. It's a city that embraces innovation, that stays very human, deeply human in scale, but at the same time, you can say that history inspired progress, and the quality of life, which is very, very high, meets creativity and culture. Culture here is very alive. It's not only preserved in a museum or monuments, but is lived through every day, from the majestic castle to open air music festival and a cultural festival to creative hubs, like, for example, the one where I am hosting this webinar from, which used to be a theater, but our guest speaker will tell you a bit more about that later, and now is no longer a theater, sadly, but it kept alive the variety of activities a theater can offer to their public. So today we have a lot of events, we have a lot of projects, and also we have the so-called talent point, where we can give information, and we can sustain and accompany the talents moving to Ferrara. What I'm trying to convey to you as a message is that our imagination and our project projects are sort of like a civic strength. So having such a cultural and vibrant landscape is not just an exercise of beauty and aesthetics, but is also part of our quality of life and to our characteristic of the city. Beyond its beauty, Ferrara offers everything that can support high quality of life for whoever decides to move here. There is an excellent education and healthcare system, a very strong digital infrastructure, and a very forward-looking university system. The city, through the municipality, offers a lot of very useful services like childcare, accessible and family-friendly benefits, a lot of sports and recreational facilities to promote well-being for all ages. So a place where you can find experimentation, creative entrepreneurship, and collaboration across all disciplines. Focusing on today's topic, you will find out that Ferrara is also one of the greenest city in Italy. We have loads and loads of kilometers of cycling paths, as you can clearly see from the little video you are seeing in the background. And also this is something that is reflected in our mindset. So if you think about commuting by bicycle and not by car, you can just imagine how relaxing it is compared to driving and being stuck in traffic and a very congested highway. So also, apart from bicycle lanes, there are a lot of like green spaces, and they're growing even more and more. So sustainability is not just a slogan; it's a shared practice. And this environmental awareness is something that the city itself is focusing a lot at the moment, and is shaping Ferrara's vision for the future. So it's fundamental to embrace it as a citizen, but also as just inhabitant of the earth looking towards the future. So what else we can say about Ferrara? Of course, it's a strategic location. It's unmissable. And that's what I mean, that you don't need to be in a big metropolis to be reaching opportunities, because in Ferrara there is a lot, of course, going on and a very high level. But also you are very well connected to other cities nearby. So if you have a meeting in Rome or in Milan, you can just reach them by our high velocity train, and it's very easy to be there just for the day. So Ferrara can be home to many professional artists, innovators. It's just the perfect size for big ambition. But I will try to keep it short because we have so many people and so many interesting speeches to share with you. Just to wrap it up, Ferrara Calling, it's really about sharing story and perspective that prove talent can really flourish here. And here in Ferrara, ideas don't just stay on paper, but they turn into projects, to partnership and new ways of living and working. So we can begin this journey together, exploring how heritage and innovation can shape a more sustainable and inspiring future. And I would like to welcome you all to Ferrara Calling. And I will like to start our journey this evening with Julius, who recently moved to Ferrara and here started a brand new family in the city. And Julius has already been part of the Ferrara Calling family as well for a bit. He experienced some activities in the month of September, along with other fellow participants to the program. So a big welcome to Julius, and who is actually today working from the Laboratorio Aperto as well. So a very crowded place to be today. So thank you, Julius, for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I will continue to introduce myself like a little bit. I'm Julius, as you said, 29 from Hamburg, and I studied circular environmental engineering and worked in the whole field of circular engineering and sustainable consulting for construction projects. So I'm, yeah, intrinsically highly motivated to do something with a sense, and I'm also seeking for sustainable projects, and therefore all these ideas are quite important to me. Yeah, in a new city. But I also traveled quite a bit, and on my last journey, life swept me to Ferrara. So I think it's probably not like the average story where you seek out the city and then you make a plan and move there, but it's more like a go with the flow situation where I found life in Ferrara. But I still wasn't sure because I didn't make this plan. So I was a little bit skeptical, to be honest, because in my experience, you can make like, you can create a great video about basically any place. And I was like, is Ferrara going to hold up to the promise of what like advertisement says? Or is it more like, crumbling, is it a small old city with crumbling walls in the middle of nowhere that only tells about the glory of the past? So of course I'm over exaggerating, but like that was my concern, and I was like, I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But still, I felt like Ferrara will have something to offer, and I made the step and started to explore. And I'm very happy that I did. Even though at the beginning I wasn't sure if it would provide if it would be possible even for a small city with 100,000 inhabitants to provide the culture and the motivated people and the progressive ideas I was looking for. But as I said, it's my story is not the average story. So I came here. I cannot tell you yet about the amazing job I found or the spectacular university I'm visiting or the home I've built, but this is all going to come. And what I can tell you about is a city, quite a small city, to be honest, which surprised me. Like every day I've been able to explore it. And that comes down to basically three aspects, which is people, connectivity, and the promise of transformation. And because I think it's most important, let me start with the people. From my experience, maybe also especially coming from northern Germany, where we are culturally a little bit different, Ferrara is very outgoing. And therefore, for me, it was very easy to find my spaces where I could feel at home. This starts from like regenerative farming projects within the city walls and leads over sustainable, like small sustainable shops like bakeries or ecological flower shops to associations that are eager to shape society to a more inclusive space. And I think all of that was quite astonishing to me because I come from Hamburg, a city with more than around 2 million inhabitants. And there it was kind of, obvious that you would find something of everything. But in Ferrara, I didn't expect that. And coming here, I realized that there is actually something of everything. Like it didn't really matter what I was looking for. I always found people who were already creating these sorts of ideas. And yeah, to be frank, like in a city that size in Germany, you wouldn't find all of these different perspectives on life, and that was really like a big and positive surprise for me. And in that sense, Ferrara already lived up to the promise it made. And yeah, after I walked around for more or less a month in the city, it was almost impossible to leave the door without meeting someone that I already had quite a nice conversation with. And I think that's also one of the charms of a city of the size of Ferrara, that, it really it's easy to connect to people because it may not be huge, but it has like the right size to step out and just like, coincidentally step into each other and share ideas. Which basically leads me to the second aspect, which was important for me, which is connectivity. And by exploring Ferrara, I basically just stumbled across Ex Teatro, and the Laboratorio Aperto. And I was immediately invited to be part of the Ferrara calling program, which was especially nice again, because as I said, I didn't know much and I just arrived, and it seemed to have been just the right timing to take part of this sort of, the city reaching out to people, to connect them, bring them together, share their ideas, and to show also even more interesting aspects of Ferrara that I didn't notice before, such as the university with the hydroponic greenhouse that we visited within the program, sustainable expo where I could go and talk to quite a lot of different Italian companies from all over the place that are centered around sustainability, and also to just connect on rooftop gatherings. So therefore, basically, Laboratorio Aperto provides this space for me to connect to people that have fresh ideas and that want to change the city or help change the city into a progressive and future-proof place. And this spirit of transformation also becomes apparent when you walk the city. So as I started with the question in my head, if it's all going to be crumbling old city walls, I realized it's not. All the city walls are being renewed, basically, and not just being renewed to keep like the old glory, but also, they are made into spaces you want to live in. And that's quite cool to see, because I think there's this sort of stereotype about a lot of European cities, old cities, that it's basically open air museum where you walk around. And I think a city can have this appearance quite fast, but Ferrara is actually like tackling that by creating new spaces and planting a lot of new trees, creating new bike lanes where you really feel like, there's an active drive that is not just like trying to relive the past, but actually leading into the future. And coming from this field of expertise with sustainable construction, I'm really happy to see that. For me, it's very, very cool to be here. And also, it's also funny that I've been invited as a testimony for this, because it seems probably that I sound like a Ferrara advertisement machine, because every time I tell my relatives and friends at home, they basically say the same. And that is because that's actually the picture that I have. And I'm very happy for it, because I'm going to stay here even though it wasn't planned.
Thank you so much, Julius. It was so interesting. And sorry, Sergio and I are sharing the screen and not just the desk. But thank you so much, Julius. I think it's always nice to hear from, a Ferrarese, the point of view of someone looking at you, at your city, and maybe also highlighting things that we sometimes take for granted. And also is interesting to see, new approaches and to give us inspiration about what can be done more. And I loved also the fact that you mentioned the university and the hydroponic greenhouse, which is one of my favorite new spaces in the city. I love going there. I wish I could live inside the hydroponic greenhouse. And also about all the changes that you are noticing in the city. And I think about that, Francesco will have a lot to say afterwards from the municipality of Ferrara point of view. So thank you again, Julius. I hope you can tell your friend that this is not advertised. You're not one testimonial of Ferrara, but it can be if you want. We can work on your campaign. So thank you for being with us, and of course you're always welcome here at the Laboratorio Aperto. I now leave the floor to Maria Giovanna Govoni from Arter, because as I was telling you earlier on, this project is part of a wider program that starts from a regional initiative and a specific regional law. And I think Emilia-Romagna is one of the few, if not the only region in Italy who has created a specific law for talent
The only
attraction
one.
and retention. So thank you so much, Maria Giovanna, for being with us.
Thank you, Eleonora. I'm so glad to be here for the third time to tell you about our program, regional program, and about who you are. Let me share my screen because I have a short presentation here. Yes, that's it. And who we are. I'm here in behalf of Arter. I'm so sorry, but Arter doesn't mean art or something about it, because Arter stands for Attractiveness, Research and Territory. And this is a consortium of the Emilia-Romagna region and joint stock consortium. And this body is the goal, the main goal of Arter is foster our region to and the sustainable growth of our region, and based on innovation, knowledge, and research. So it's we are a little bit different from other entities because consortium is among different bodies, public and private. And here you can say, of course, the Emilia-Romagna region is the most important bodies inside the consortium. But we have also the universities, national research centers located in the region, but also the national center as CNR, NEA, INFN, and of course the system of Chamber of Commerce. So this is mean that we have the training provider, but also the research center and also the companies, because Chamber of Commerce means companies, so means money. And so this is our goal is that all these bodies can talk together and share their competencies and their resources. And as Eleonora said before, Emilia-Romagna region is the first and the only region in Italy that have a regional law aimed at attraction, valorization, and promotion of highly specialized talents in Emilia-Romagna. And this law is to contribute to the attraction, retention, and return and harnessing of highly specialized talents. And so if we are talking about talents and of course international talents, who are the talents for us? Talents for us is highly specialized talent people, so university students, scientists, knowledge workers who are living outside Italy right now and wants to move to Italy and Emilia-Romagna region. People are living now in Emilia-Romagna, and people born or graduated in Emilia-Romagna now are living abroad or returnees. And of course, their partner or children, their families. And for all these people, we create, Emilia-Romagna region create a regional program, and this is the regional program, ITER, International Talent Emilia-Romagna, which includes services, facilities, activities, initiatives, informations aimed at attracting and retaining international talents. We decide to divide the path or the moment in different moments or phases, the path of the people who wants to live in Emilia-Romagna, wants to move in Emilia-Romagna, and international talents. And so we divide all the services and facilities in different phases. So services dedicated to who is abroad right now and wants to move into Emilia-Romagna region, services and facilities or initiatives or activities to support newcomers when they arrive here, and so aim at to setting up here in our city. Also services and information to live in a city in a new context, and all the activities like this one or other activities or initiatives to boost the community of the Emilia-Romagna region talents and international ambassador. And this is our website and the homepage of our website. And the website is in different languages, Spanish, English, and of course Italian. And we also divide the website and the information also because you can find different informations if you are a student here in Emilia-Romagna, or if you are a researcher or a PhD or a knowledge worker. So if you study here or you work here. And this is the most important part of the website, and I suggest to go inside and deeper in these blue bubbles, because these are the services. And I think the best thing is to go on the bubble of ITER Infodesk, because here you can find a service and you can book a one-to-one meeting with us and talk with us and make all the question about your life and shape of on your profile. And it's very inspiring also the ITER stories, because here you can find podcasts and videos of our international talents and of our international ambassador, a network of international university students, PhD researcher representing Emilia-Romagna region. And also I think it's a useful guide. You can download here at this link. I put here the link so it's could be easier to find all the services for international talents. This is the Infodesk, a regional virtual information on not only about the services, but also on all the regional ecosystem opportunities. You can find Emilia-Romagna region. Here you can book your free call, because it's a free service. And well, I think you can book your appointment here, because it's at the end I sent to you a lot of information right down in a huge mail with all the opportunities. Brand new guidelines for citizens on all the administrative and aspect who for people from Emilia-Romagna who lives abroad, and for international wants to relocate to Italy and also in Emilia-Romagna. And we prepare these 3 guides in Italian, English, and Spanish. And we prepare also a brand new guidelines for companies, because it's important for us, not only services for people who wants to come here, but also make a cultural action to the companies who wants to hire people from abroad or international people. It's very important. And we have also an ITER Ambassador program. Someone of you as already know this program. And this is a network, and it involves international talents representing in Emilia-Romagna, the Emilia-Romagna innovation ecosystem through the world. And it's something an ambassador is a role model, because ITER ambassador show to other people, other talents come here, how could be could be a life in our region, could be have a job here, study here, and share. It's a very very useful way to share your experience and spread to other peers your experience here as an international talent. And ITER ambassador for us is foreign people are living in Emilia-Romagna, yes, of course, and also Emilia-Romagna returnees. If you want to if you want to become an ITER ambassador, you can go on the website and have and fill the Google form and apply to become ITER ambassador, and you could be if you want, as an ambassador, you can participate and join the community also on the annual event. And this year, the event will take place on the 2nd of November in Reggio Emilia. Here I'll insert the agenda and also the registration form if you want to participate and know other ITER ambassador and share your experience, your stories, your obstacle you face off, or other point of attention to other people, and join us in a beautiful day, because it will be a funny day with a lot of activities of co-creation and something. I think it will be a beautiful day to get involved in this community. And the International Talent Ambassador Day, it will be a regional event. If you can go to Reggio Emilia, or if you want to participate in a local event, we decide to have and create an ITER Ambassador Lab, a local event, and will take place on the 3rd of December here in Ferrara, and there at the Laboratorio Aperto. And it will be a relaxing afternoon together, and we can join also the local community of other ambassadors here in Ferrara and build together all the services that Ferrara Talent Playground could take and create and implement, improve their service. And last but not least, this is the list of the local network. This is the local network and the list of the project of other municipality in Emilia-Romagna region, and Ferrara Talent Playground is the Ferrara project. But I suggest you to go in deeper also in other projects. And I hope you can join us in Reggio Emilia or in Ferrara del Laboratorio Aperto in the next upcoming events. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria Giovanna. A lot of useful information, and we will share the presentation and all the slides that Maria Giovanna was showing on her screen right now tomorrow to all the subscribers to this webinar. Of course, if you need more in-depth information, or if you want to discuss a bit more some specific points about what Maria Giovanna said, you can also reach out by email, but also, of course, you can come to the Talent Point here in the Laboratorio Aperto. We will be happy to assist you with everything. I love how you, again, highlighted the sense of community that this program is creating in Ferrara and in the region as well. And I love that talking about community, sustainability is one of the key points that this city has decided to invest on. And I'm happy that we have Francesco Ricchieri from the municipality of Ferrara here with us tonight, that is very deeply involved in this aspect of the transformation the city is going through. And I don't know if he is going to share with you some materials, but again, we are happy to send it to you afterwards. But now I shut up and I leave the floor to Francesco. Thank you so much. Welcome, Francesco.
Hi everybody, and thanks for being here, and thanks for inviting me, most importantly. And thank you, Eleonora, again for this very too much important introduction of me. I'm Francesco Ricchieri. I work for the municipality of Ferrara. I work with the vice mayor, so I'm deeply in contact with the administration, with the administrative part of the city, and we work mainly in public works and environment. So I've been tasked for giving you this very short briefing about what is the municipality doing regarding sustainability, which is such a wide topic, which required me to give mainly some suggestions because it would take me maybe one night just to go through one of the topic. So I'll try to share my screen and you tell me if it is good. Let's see. Okay, share. And can you see the slides? Just say yes because I cannot see you anymore. Is it good? Okay, good. So I'll go quite fast on the strategy that we choose when we started this mandate and on the scientific approach that we used. Thanks also from the European funds that we received. And I'll go quite fast on these topics. So soil consumption and urban regeneration, which also Sergio maybe will talk a little bit later, as he is the main expert. Then we talk a little bit about urban forestry and parks, which Julius actually noticed during his speech. Then we talk a little bit about air quality and mobility, and just a little some heads up on what's next. Of course, no spoilers, but some things. So, where did we start? Well, we tried to keep it as a scientific approach. We started from data, which is something that usually is not done. Sustainability is mainly seen as an ideologic topic, which we didn't want to approach like that. So, thanks for this European project. It's an Horizon project. It's called Usage. The guys from Laboratorio Aperto know it very well. We started and managed to collect a lot of environmental data on our territories. So we have this new portal with all the open data regarding temperatures at floor level, NDVA, all sort of different indexes. And we focused mainly on these three topics. Heat islands, so climate change is a thing, so we have to tackle it. Floodings, because then again, climate change, and we live in a deeply complicated territory regarding that, and a little bit about biodiversity. So going straight up to how did we apply this huge amount of data? First, we started with heat islands and we decided to work, and you probably already started seeing it, on the public squares. So these are some suggestions that I'm trying to give you. So on top, there is Piazza Travaglio, and what is now, you can see on the left, it's a parking lot, so concrete. And this is just a suggestion. It is what is going to be next year, or by the end of next year. It's going to be a small urban forest with benches and all different trees. That's going to be around 50 to 60 trees, and we're going to close it to the traffic, so it's going to be a new place for sociability, socialization. As Julius said, we are creating many new spaces for socializations all around town. And just to give you a project that it has already been done, you can see Piazza Cortevecchia, which is a little bit smaller, and it's just behind here from the municipal residence. And on the left, you can see still the old Google Maps style, which is a parking lot again, and it has been turned into this, well, we call them the green islands. The people call them volcanoes, which is still fine, I guess. It's a funny name. But it's not just that. We also have some new things that are coming. So you can see ex-AMGA, which is the name of this industry that has been and is going to be renewed in 2026. It's a totally polluted industrial site, which we are working on right now to put in and turn into a green corridor, which is going to connect one of the main arteries that are the traffic place bringing people to the city center, to the town walls. And it's going to be completely green, accessible, and with some blue infrastructures as well. And underneath, you can see Piazza Gobetti, behind the cathedral, basically, which right now is, well, it's not in a bad environmental situation, but it is socially totally degraded. On the left, you can see it, so it's empty, full of cars, and home of a lot of problems. And on the right, you can see how it is going to be. It's going to be, again, a place for socialization with spaces for kids, and of course, green part. That's the main things that we want to convey to the city. We need to tackle the heat island issue with intervention and projects that are on the micro level. We have to make a lot of them to have an impact in the city center, which is of course a UNESCO site. So you cannot just rebuild it from zero. You have to be surgical in this situation. Then again, I'm going quite fast on the urban forestry and green new areas. This is, on the style of Central Park. There's going to be this area, which is 55,000 square meters of land just outside the city walls. It's going to be turned into Central Bosque, so it's going to be a park. It's going to be a very particular park because it's the first one who has a particular approach on biodiversity with the 300 rule. It's going to have at the center, you can see it, a blue basin, which is not going to be filled with water. So it's not a lake. It's going to be empty with plants, but it's floodable because in that part of town, when the rain is too harsh, we get total floodings. And with these infrastructures, we will manage to convey all the waters inside that basin and avoid from their houses to get flooded. And then again, 2026, it's going to be the year. We're already working on that. Actually, some videos are going to come out probably next week, but that's spoilers again. And we are doing that urban forestry also on the micro level and in a participatory way. So this year we launched the neighbor tree, the l'albero di quartiere, which is an online form where people can propose to plant a tree, just one for this year at least, nearby their houses where they see that there is a necessity. Right now, we already closed this form because now we are in the part of checking if all the suggestions that we received, what you can see on the left, it's pretty much all around town, if they are feasible, because we have to check with all the under infrastructure, and if yes, we will plant them during the winter. It's, I can tell you, around 60 right now, people that actually contacted us, but many people actually asked for more than one tree, and we're probably going to be able to satisfy their needs. And we will probably finance it for next year as well, because it's not just for the green of the city, which is this micro interventions. It's a social thing. People learn to watch their surrounding and check what they could improve, and they tell it to us, and we try to do it. And in this way, we actually planted over all of our intervention more than 15,000 trees. Some of our offices actually say almost 20,000, but well, I just stick with the official number because I don't want to give false information. And our strategy is that we will keep doing more and more. Actually, we are running out of green areas to plant, so no more public spaces where we can plant. After that, I'll talk just very briefly about what are we doing about air quality, because Ferrara is not perfect, of course, even though I would like to think so. We live in the Padana Plain Basin, which means basically that we receive pollution, and pollution is not washed away from the air. So in 2020, we won an European project called EREC, where we received 5 million euros, of course, between us and the partners, to actually try to reduce by 25% the air pollution in some of the areas of the town by many different actions, which required the installation of sensors all over the city, the mapping of the pollution, the planting of I do believe like 2,000 to 3,000 trees all around town, and probably some of those forests that you can see growing today because 5 years already passed. The building of some cycling lanes, and this is what is called the enzymatic treatment of streets, where basically some trucks actually go over the street and spill this water solution that makes the PM0, PM5, etc., stick to the ground and then be washed away with the rain, which is actually extremely, extremely working. Lastly, well, Eleanor actually talked a little bit about that earlier, but I just wanted to share some data. Ferrara is the city of bicycles, of course. 90% of the residents own a bike, and most of them actually own more than one bike. And if we count people going to work by bike or by foot, it's 30% of people actually live and work like that, which is wonderful if you consider the size of the town. And we are actually the highest density of like kilometers per inhabitants of cycling lanes. So we don't have the most ones, but we have the highest density, and we are actually increasing that. In thanks to the Next Generation EU program, we will reach 170 kilometers of cycling lanes by 2026. Not just that, I just wanted to add that, which well, actually Eleanor already talked about it, but I like this info. Ferrara is extremely well connected nowadays, thanks to the fast train, high-speed trains that can actually carry us all around Italy in very, very few times. Like you could go to Rome in a day, like it's just 3 hours going, 3 hours back. Florence is 1 hour, Venice 1 hour, but Naples maybe you want to use a weekend because it's 4 hours and a half. It's a little bit trickier, but still, you just need to sit on the train and get there. Lastly, what's next? Well, first slide, first on the left, you can see floodings, which are still a situation. We will try to focus our next projects on water resilient town, trying to tackle this situation, which is going to be more and more complicated over the years because of climate change. Later on, we will keep creating new parks, new green infrastructures, new airs to actually filter our air and make the air quality better. And of course, we want to do that, and that's just a suggestion, of course, in the last image. We want to do it with the citizens. So we want to involve citizens into our projects more and more. We are working a lot with Emilia-Romagna region on the participation law. We have a lot of participatory projects going on, and we want to do it more and more because people need to be involved to feel that this change is part of their lives, not just something that the administration does without them. And that is pretty much it. That's the end of my intervention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francesco. So interesting that you ended it with, again, this sense of community and involvement of the population and the city in whatever is going on. And I can only add that 2026 is the year to be in the city, at least to see what's going on and what will be accomplished by the end of that year. So maybe it's a good year to move to Ferrara, or at least to start thinking about moving to Ferrara. And on a funny note, Sergio and I, we were just discussing about how many bicycles do we have each at home, and it's definitely more than one each. So we raised the average numbers, but I think it's pretty normal that we have more than one. But now I would like to leave the entire screen and desk to Sergio, who will be telling you about his perspective and his experience in all of these wonderful activities and what he does every day and how he's involved also with the building we are sitting in.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Eleonora. So first of all, thank you for the invitation. Me too, because I'm quite proud to be here. And sorry for my English because it will not be as the one of the persons you've just heard. And I'm going to speak about landscape in a few minutes. Landscape is such an important item, an articulated item, and we cannot close the sense of the meaning in a few minutes. But I'll try to speak about the relation between landscape and Ferrara. Because what you have just heard is part of a philosophy that this city is trying to bring along for several years. The philosophy is talks about the relation between Ferrara and landscape, because Ferrara is landscape. The difference between this city and many other city, the dimension of Ferrara, we are talking about 100 almost 30,000 people living here, and but we are talking even of a great center, an historical center inside the ancient walls. This historical center is more or less 4 square kilometers. That is not so little in comparison to other small cities. Well, this center, this historical center, but inside and outside the wall, Ferrara has a relation, a strict relation with the landscape. And this because landscape is part of the city from its beginning. Ferrara has a relation with the River Po. The River Po is the most important river in Italy, and the River Po modeled the city among the centuries. First of all, it was the southern part of the city, the very inner part, the very historical part of Ferrara was born on the River Po, like an island, a little island, and then the Po was on the southern part of the city. Now is the northern part of it, dividing us from the Veneto region. And it moved, and the city moved with as a flood with the river. And this is quite curious because the fact that the landscape between ground and water was part of the beginning of the city. Well, we are bringing with us this kind of birth, and we are trying to reinterpret, trying to rediscover it in the actual Ferrara, in the contemporary town, the contemporary city. For instance, talking about landscape, Ferrara has a strange peculiar thing. It goes over the dichotomy between the country and city, because landscape coming from the country enter the city and penetrate it, until the very center of the town. And this is the great thing if you are so lucky to be able to plan this town. I'm part of the team that is trying to build up the new urban plan of the city, and we we try to work with landscape and with the instrument of landscape inside outside the city, which are water, which are ground, which are ancient walls, which is the great park that divides the city, or better link the city to the river in the northern part of Ferrara. So landscape is our best infrastructure. As our best infrastructure, we can say that in the era of regeneration, this is the era of regeneration all around Europe. Ferrara can use landscape as its best infrastructure just to fix the point of regeneration. We are quite lucky because we do not only have a cycle path, but we have 4 waterways that we can navigate, one for each cardinal point, north, east, south, and west. And if we put together these waterways with all the net of a cycle path, and we put on it even the net of railway, and we put on it even the net of streets just run by electric buses, we have a complete possible potential intermodality all around, all in the town. And that is quite a peculiar thing that only Ferrara has in the northern part of Italy, even because it's completely accessible, because it's part of a plan, of a great plan, which is Pianura Padana, which is the greater plan in all Europe. It and Ferrara is part of this plan, but is not so anthropized, not so ruined like other cities in this plan, in this great plan. Ferrara is a sort of a green zone in a very anthropized area. And so we are playing with this thing because this helps us to find the very fixed point of regeneration of buildings, because when you have such an a glorious landscape, you can fix on it the place of regeneration. We have many buildings to be regenerated. The work is well done till now, but the work is going on, as you just heard from Francesco. And there is much to do again, and landscape can be our big instrument of regeneration, giving us the quality of voids, the quality of empty spaces, which are square, which are streets, parks, gardens, that characterize all the town in and out the ancient wall, and which are the meeting point of people, and the meeting point of floods of persons which are coming here and enjoying the city, not only as tourists, but even as complete and working citizens. So just trying to conclude this thought. Landscape so is an instrument, is our great instrument to reinvent mobility, intermodal mobility between ground and water. Landscape is an infrastructure, is a social and cultural and physical infrastructure, because it is part of our history, part of our literature, part of our poetry, and is going to be part of our full life of citizens. And the rediscovery of landscape as a mean of making the city is the starting point for a new kind of regeneration, which is not only a regeneration of the building itself, but is a regeneration of a way of living, a regeneration of a way of starting enlightening relations between people. That is very important to understand, to just to get closer to the spirit of the city. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sergio. It was wonderful to conclude our session tonight with your thought and your point of view. So thank you again. I think it was the perfect conclusion from, practice, projects, theory, history. So I think we had it all. So to our wonderful viewers, thank you for being with us. If you have questions, of course, you can email us at the same email address you find on the subscription of this webinar. We will send you the materials that you've seen from Francesco and Maria Giovanna tonight, tomorrow in email, and also you will receive a little survey just to let us know how we did, what we can do better. Maybe if you have interest or specific questions about Ferrara and what's going on, we are here. Thank you so much for being part of this Ferrara Calling webinar series. And that's it from us, and maybe we'll see you in the next edition. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.